English language in Angola is more than just a school subject.
The question was, why are we here? And just with the poetry, and she decided to do it all in all, right? Good. I think we had for our online presentation, companions, moderator, Luis, and Melina Souza. What we are going to have in the second part is not different from the first one, right? For each topic, we have a moderator. So now Luis and Melina will be the moderator for this topic.
Once again. Right, so after having our coffee break, I think we should do better than this. Don't you agree? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Very good. So it's my pleasure to be here with you today. And we would like to appreciate every woman that was here sharing their experiences and just taking us through about this women conference, ANELTA second national conference. Thank you very much. So our next program will have Sarah, that is our professor from Egypt. So she'll be sharing with us on empowering women teachers with AI Corpus Companion. So that's what she's going to talk about to us today. So Sarah Ali Afili is from research at the first PSO online conference in Dubai and focuses on corpus-based learning, digital literacy for women educators, and AI integration in ELT.
Or to guess or suggest some recommendation for future and a call to action. Okay, let's start first. This, of course, session is dedicated for Angola's celebration of independence, and we are going to write, as I said, speak about some corpus tools that will help us to be combined with AI tools, and this will help us to improve or to remove technical barriers, support innovation in teaching, and enables educators to bring real English language into every classroom. Before we start, let's have a look at this woman. We can guess that her name is Maria. Maria is a teacher in rural Huampo. I think this is a city or a village in Angola, looking thoughtful in a modest classroom. As we can see, the classroom here is very simple. Students are sitting here. They do not have any device, technical device, such as laptops, iPads, and so on, or even mobiles. She is thinking about those students, trying to improve their learning English, how she can help them to be better in English. She represents thousands of dedicated women educators in Angola, of course, and many, not only in Angola, but in any other villages or rural place. Okay, this video will show us the problem that Maria has in teaching, and also it will provide us with the solution for this problem and the benefits that they will get.
Okay. Maria has taught English for 12 years in rural Huambo, Angola. She wants her students to use English the way it's spoken in real life. Old textbooks can't do that. Complex software and weak internet make it impossible. Then she discovers AI Corpus Companions. AI gives her instant lesson ideas and feedback. Corpus tools provide real examples from everyday English. Together, they make lessons accurate, current, and engaging. Her students practice with authentic dialogues. They improve faster and speak with confidence. Maria feels her teaching is stronger, more relevant, and future-ready.
Okay. So, has anybody of us had the same challenge in class? Sometimes we need to give students or for help students to use AI. For example, using Gemini, using ChatGPT, and so on. When students search for such tools, they may get the wrong information. And sometimes it is limited. The result they get is limited. So what can we do to help Maria improve her class? We can help her by giving or introducing some corpus tools that contains a lot of information of real authentic material of English and combine these tools with AI. In such a case, the students can get more authentic results that are reliable and also will help them to search themselves about the information or the meaning of words, grammar, and so on. And this will be interesting for students. Let's see first summarize the challenges that Maria has. She has, if she used complex tools, corpus tools, this will be difficult for her and for students because it needs some technical professional. And if she relies only on AI tools, the information she gets will not be accurate and reliable. So what can we do? Let's first define what are the corpus tools. Corpora or corpus tools are like, for example, PNC or British National Corpus. What is the PNC or the British National Corpus? I'll end with you with this one and share another screen. Stop share here and share another screen that show you how to make use of the corpora. This one. Okay, just a minute to share this one. This is what we call the corpus paste. What is the corpus paste here? It is the British National Corpus. We can find, it is a website that we can, all of us can log in and can have an account. It's free. And it will provide us with thousands, not thousands, millions of expressions, meanings of words, and so on. So if you go into this or find this link here, englishcorpora.org PNC. This one, you create an account first. Then after creating your account by using your email, you will have the ability to log on like this. This is my account. You will get this screen. This is the dashboard in which they provide you with your email and so on. Right. If I wanted to search for a word, I can start searching here. If we write a word like mistake, start searching. Okay, mistake. They will provide us with the frequency of using this word. How many times it is used and in which situations and in the prepositions followed by it, collocation, everything related to this word can be found here. So you can open it here like this. Mistake, show. So how many words and expressions can you get? So many. Many words here can be used or can be found as the result of using a mistake. But it is not only this page, it is one of 37 pages of the word mistake. So we can know which collocations come with this word, which prepositions can be used with this word, which is situations in which we can use the word, and so on. So everything can be related to this word can be found here in this corpus. So here, from where these words are taken or expressions, they are driven from meetings, from journals, from stories, novels, from newspapers like this. These are the sources of the word, from newspapers, from stories, novels, and so on. So all the sources are authentic and reliable, no doubt. So they are all correct, reliable, and so on. If I ask my students to search for a word like this, then they can get all this information. Okay? After taking this can be done manually by asking them to have a copy of these, for example, like this, or to only highlight the word or the expressions here, save them like this, using the save button here. They can save all the concordance they get like this. They highlight it, then save. And when they save it, they will be downloaded in their computers. After that, they can go to any AI tool, such as ChatGPT, Gemini, any AI tool, and provide this or enrich the AI tool with this information. And in such a case, they can make a combination between AI tool and the corpus tool. And in such a case, they can easily get information that are reliable and correct. Let's go back again to our slide. Okay, here to complete our work. So now we have an idea about the corpus tools, such as the BNC tool. Okay, and there are so many. We noticed that it contains a huge number of information, more than 100 million expression and words taken from authentic sources. And here we have AI tools. The AI tools, they are software that can be created or powered by artificial intelligence. And so they are like ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepL, and so many other tools. What we did now, we could combine both AI tools with corpus tools in order to get information that are reliable and authentic. Okay, how can we do that inside the class? This is the dashboard of the PNC. There is another also website that we can get more information also related to the words in English. For example, Sketch Engine. If you write on the website Sketch Engine, you will get it. But in fact, Sketch Engine gives only 30 days of trial. And after that, you have to pay. But as for the PNC, it's free all the time. You can, even when you find any, or you search for any word, you can keep it here in history so that you can refer later on and use it. So it's free and available all the time. That's why it's better than using Sketch. Okay? This is a copy of what we have just searched for about using the word mistake, for example. And if also you need to search for an expression such as kick the bucket, you can use it also and search for it, and it will give you different expressions of the idiom kick the bottom in different situations with different meanings. Okay, next, what about ChatGPT? This is the same word as we found here in kick the bucket. Kick the bucket here. When I search it in using PNC, it gives us different expressions, different situations with different, for example, using a preposition or using gerund or using a verb after it and so on. What about using it in ChatGPT? If I write the same expression, kick the bucket, in ChatGPT, for example, it will provide us with limited expressions. Only it will tell us that it is informal or academic context. Use phrases like pass away or die instead of using it. So it only gives us the conclusion, the one or two example of the word, and without giving it in different situations, different expressions like the previous one. And what can we do in such a case? I can go back, for example, to this. When I save it, it will be a file. So I go to ChatGPT here and add this file here. When I attach the file here, and then ask ChatGPT to give the different expressions of kick the bucket in, for example, even in a table format on different situations and different expressions and so on. And it will give us or provide us not this limited amount of information, but a huge number of based on the content that or the file that I provided or enriched it with. So this will be help us to make sure that the expressions I get or the information I get the teacher or the students is easy, is correct and reliable. Okay. Next. So what ChatGPT, for example, AI tool here and corpus tool here. What which one each of them provide us? Corpus is accurate, as we said. Why it is accurate? Because it is driven from authentic material or authentic resources. Okay, AI such as ChatGPT and the others is user friendly. It's very easy. Everyone can use it, but they have both of them have limits. Why have limits? As for the corpus, its limit comes from it is difficult to be used. It needs some training and technically somewhat difficult for students. So what the teacher can do, the teacher can be trained well for using these corpus tools, provide students with the training, or provide the students with the files if seeking for certain expressions or certain words, ask them to take these files and use or make it easier using ChatGPT or other AI tools. In such a case, they will get balances between easiness and reliability. Accurate with evidence, because expressions can be used in different situations using corpus base. And also it will be easier for them to use, but and it also will be simple. Okay, what we can do if we don't have this? The teacher cannot use corpus based and so on. So this can be used, linked automatically using the PNC. Okay, so then, for example, the learner, for example, enter the question. Can I say quick shower for rain? Quick shower. Okay, can I use it? So the AI tool formulates the query and writes it through the question to the corpus based. So I can search this using AI tool, ChatGPT, for example. I can write that the student can write, can I say quick shower for rain? Okay, please find the answer in or derive the answer from corpus based, from PNC, for example. So the ChatGPT formulate the query and they write the question in a different way. And in this, it can, the API, which is the link between the two tools, can be done. And then the example will be quick shower is correct. The AI can tell us that the AI is correct, but quick shower is correct, but it relies on source from the corpus base or from the BNC. This is another way. So the first way is that the teacher himself gets training well on using corpus-based, then save files containing the expressions he is going to teach for students, then inside the class, provide the students with these files, asking them to rewrite or ask ChatGPT to use these files to make it simpler for the students. This will help them to be sure to get information from ChatGPT. At the same time, this information will be easier and user-friendly as well as reliable. Okay? Next, what is the solution? The solution for this, as we said, we have to make a hybrid AI corpus or a companion between the two tools. This companion combines accurate corpora with accessible AI, for example, ChatGPT, connected to trusted sources such as PNC or Sketch Engine. They will be connected with each other. User ask questions in simple language, and they will get the answer in also very simple language without this can be done by removing the technical barriers to use authentic language resources. Okay, next. This is the application. How can this be done inside the classroom? As we said, this can be done by using the teacher himself can get the training well, then in front of the class, ask the students to understand this training. For example, if they are searching for big mistake and large mistake, is there a difference between the two? Yes, there is a difference. But which one is more accurate? Which one is commonly used? Students cannot understand that. So how can I help them? I have to, as a teacher, I have to search for this using the PNC, write the word big mistake versus large mistake, and then check the result. The result will be like this. Big mistake is used 5,300 heads. Large mistake is used only for 210 heads. So which one is more, is commonly used? Which one, please? Can you answer? Is it big mistake or large mistake? Sure. So in such a case, I'll ask students to contact or to help me and guess. So they will say, of course, big mistake because it hits more than 5,000. Okay. And also, this will help them to understand. This will build data-driven intuition for natural vocabularies. The conclusion is that using the corpus helps avoid unnatural phrases and choose expressions that native speakers use. Speakers use big mistake, and they rarely use large mistake, although both of them are correct. But which one is commonly used is big mistake. So in such a case, when students write or use expressions in English, they will choose the language that is commonly used by native speakers. This is in vocabulary. What about grammar? Expressions like he recommended, recommended, for example, we have recommended me to, we have recommended that we have recommended going, and so on. Which one is correct? So when I ask, or I, as a teacher, search for the expressions like this, I have, or I can say that recommended can be followed by that. Recommended also can be followed by the verb during the present. I, and so on. So this will help them to understand what is they are doing. Okay. So also in using heaven and so on, they can also check the difference between idiom. Okay, so the help the using the corpus helps avoid unnatural phrases and choose expressions that native speakers actually use. Okay, like this will help. It is taken from data-driven self-correction for students. They can correct their own mistakes. This will help empower all learners to improve their learning and provide actionable feedback for everyone. Okay, this if we wanted to provide this for students, for example, this proposal can be taken or be applied in a phase by a 6-month plan, for example, preparation plan, then training, then pilot, then monitoring and evaluation, and finally expansion and applying inside the classroom. This is the plan that could be followed in 6 months. And also we will have also the limitation, but the problem for applying any plan or any plan, a new plan, will be using, for example, technical problems, using, for example, all the students may not have their technical devices, for example, which will be difficult. It also, as for teachers, need training for all teachers to be able to apply this inside the classroom. For future innovation, we need to, for example, help or other organizations inside the class, the country to help or to cooperate to find this. For example, non-organization, governmental organization also should participate. We have to improve AI accuracy. We have to provide all students and teachers with the device that they are in need of, and so on. Also, educators should join the pilot and share feedback. Non-governmental organization and ministries should be help in training, and also global ELT community should be used as a model for some schools. Apply this in some schools, and if it is successful, it will be highlighted to other organization and so on. For finally, by combining the accuracy of corpus tools with the accessibility of AI, AI corpus companions remove the technical and training barriers. This will help all students to use the language easily and be sure that the material or the information they get are accurate and also helpful for them. Thank you for listening to me. If you have any information, please contact me, whether now or you can scan the QR code here for information. I'm very pleased to participate with you or to share my information with you today. Congratulations for the your Independence Day, and I hope you all benefit from this session. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Any question, please?
I would want to, for you to just give a clarification on how people in the rural areas are going to coordinate between the AI and the teaching of English in the classroom. Thank you.
How can we apply this AI in classroom when it comes to rural areas? I was saying that situation here in Angola, the context itself here in Angola, it's totally different compared to other countries. We have challenges when it comes to teaching materials, especially when it comes to the use of internet itself. So when we speak about AI, we are referring to the use of internet. And some teachers who are in rural areas, they have challenges with the use of internet itself. So what are the means, or how can they adapt?
Exactly.
Exactly. No, we cannot do that because AI, and whether AI or corpus-based, rely on having the internet, whether inside the classroom or in يعني at home. So how can we get, you know that here I got all the information with you right now from the net. So we have to open websites like PNC. We have to open ChatGPT, for example, using also or rely on using internet. So we cannot do that without having the resources. At least the teacher should have these resources. The teacher should have training on using these in order, as he himself enrich his information. He has to get information from the internet like this, and then later help students to get this even without using the device. As for the students, but as for the teacher, he should have the ability to get the device like this. That's why non-governmental organizations should have the device like this, help students, help teachers, help schools to get such devices to improve teachers' level in teaching the language. Then no need, if the students do not have the ability to do that, maybe the next step to help students to get the device. But at least the teachers themselves should have these resources. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Thanks a lot. Any other questions, please?
Okay. We go to the last question. Anybody? All right. Well, I think that's it. There are no more questions for now. So we have the slides, and we can share them later.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Really happy to join you in this conference.
Yes.
And great to be with you.
Okay, thank you very much for your time and dedication, for your patience, being there since the first hours with us. We really appreciate, and we hope to come with you again in other programs and other conferences.
I'll be with you, inshallah. Next conference, inshallah. Thanks a lot.
Can you imagine your life having an AI as a teacher in the classroom? How will it be? Did you think about it? Like your students come, teacher, I'm in doubt. No, go to ChatGPT. Ah, my God. I'm sure the contest made us a lot. Well, that was actually insightful presentation, but we have more. Okay. Let's go our next participation. Linda moderating as well. Mrs. Ahush Farouk. Mr. Belinda, please. Are you ready? All right. Thank you.
I'm looking at the following theme: from passive to participatory, blended, flipped, gamified strategies to transform ELT. And this is one of the topics that will be spoken by Professor Aroj. I don't know if I'm correcting your name correctly. Please forgive me.
You are. Thank you.
All right, so Professor Faroj has over 2 decades of extensive experience in English language teaching, working with diverse nationalities and holding various positions ranging from ESL instructor to Director of Language Programs. She is an experienced adult English instructor and has conducted numerous teachers training sessions and workshops. Raj holds an IELTS teaching and training certification with distinction from the UK and has been training teachers for over a decade. Her academic qualifications include a Master in Educational Leadership Studies from Canada, as well as a double master's degree in Applied Linguistics and English. She also holds a postgraduate diploma in TEFL, level 7, which is equivalent to a master's, and multiple professional certifications. So, Professor Raj, this is your moment, and we would love to hear from you. A round of applause for her, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you for a warm welcome. I'm delighted to be here. So yes, first of all, congratulations on this amazing topic, amazing conference. If you could just confirm you can hear me clear, or do I need to speak a bit louder?
Just speak a bit louder, please.
Okay, all right, okay. So is it better?
Is it better?
Is it any better?
Is
Okay,
it better?
yeah.
Here? Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now it is.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. All right, we've been in touch, Sarah. Nice to meet you in face to face as well. So yeah, so let's start. Let's not keep you waited. So it's passive to participatory. I'll go a little fast because I know the time is limited and there are other presenters. And thank you very much for accommodating me. So I'll just start very quickly with one of my very favorite somebody who's very, very dear to me, and that is Stefani Giannani, a woman like you, like me, who is doing a lot for the education sector. So throughout history, according to Giannani's word, throughout history, educators like Aristotle, Confucius, and wise figures from indigenous culture shaped values, ethics, and progress for civilizations. However, today, teachers around the world carry forward the same noble role, which is marvelous, which is you, which is me, which is all of us sitting here today. So we must feel proud in ourselves. Okay. All right. So objectives, I hope I can finish them all within time. It's to look into the understanding for the blended and flipped learnings, how you're engaging students and you're providing some kind of autonomy to learners, learner-centered approaches and importance of gamification, which is a basic, a main concern, especially for parents when it comes to gamification for their young ones or teenagers. Critical thinking, the role of critical thinking in all of this, and low tech strategies. I think that was the question also in the previous presentation. If there are there's no technology, how we can access what we can do about it. So let's kick a start. This is the report that I read about Angola's economy, and that liaises with today's conference, that the importance of English language, according to the African report that was published, that making English an official language can turbocharge Angola's economy. And that is the whole core, I believe, for today's conference and teachers training to well-equipped teachers to boost Angola's economy. So if you look at the traditional model, teachers were just classrooms were teacher centered. It was teacher who is leading the classroom, the orthodox way of teaching, which is happening a lot in other parts of the world as well. However, new modern approach faces more towards learner-centered approach, especially if we are talking about English language teaching. However, you can apply this to any other parts of the subject or the fields as well. and how you can increase the engagement, excuse me, how you can increase learners' engagement when it comes to learner-centered approach. It's not taking away teachers' role, absolutely not, which is a massive misleading statement a lot of traditional teachers think of. So, role of technology, how now this connects between the two. Technology plays crucial role. Yes, we cannot deny this thing. However, we need to consider the parts of the world where technology is not yet reachable, such as the rural areas of villages. So, facilitating the shift by providing tools that enhance learners' engagement, such as interactive platforms, multimedia resources, and communication tools to support collaboration. And that is why technology is a lot needed in the English language teaching. So if we look at pedagogy at a glance, just to give a quick snippet, what is pedagogy and why we're talking about traditional and modern teaching ways and technology. So pedagogy is a method of teaching, as we all know, we're all educators sitting here, which includes the principles and theories and justifications, right? It helps the teachers to take instructional decisions in and outside the classroom because pedagogy offers framework guiding teachers in their approach. Each teacher has their own approach and it varies according to the level of the students. Can you please mute yourself because disrupting? I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so pedagogical innovations builds on existing methods of combining them in new ways, right? So it's everything goes back to the traditional way, that is for pedagogy that you can't remove. However, your application changes. How do you do that? Your application changes. Now, key pedagogical approaches, when we talk about pedagogy, right? We're doing controlling classroom. What are the key pedagogical steps? There are seven, but we are going to focus on only four of these today, because of the topic. It's pretty wide itself. So we're looking into flipped classroom, blended learning, and gamification or game-based strategies. Now, when we talk about critical thinking actually comes or falls under all three of them. So critical thinking itself is not an approach that you can take off, but it is something that is well linked with all three of them. Now, what is blended learning? According to Dalhousie University, blended learning is an umbrella term. It's a massive big term, right? It's an approach that a teacher can apply if he or she likes it, if he or she is comfortable applying it according to the student's need, according to the provided resources. You can never force yourself to do something when you're limited on the resources. However, as a teacher, this is your creativity to snap it, change it, and bring something different that would make your learners love education. And that is the goal of a teacher. So blended learning is an umbrella term that refers to variety of approaches, okay? Just hear me out here. It is a variety. It has varied approaches inside it. So definition could be including like in person. You can have online. You can just have something that is a ratio, maybe 2 days online, 3 days in class, maybe just 1 hour online, the remaining time in class. So it's your balance. It's your classroom, your resources, your limitations, your students, and you apply it accordingly. Okay, if there's a message for me. Okay, all right, I appreciate it. All right. Oops. Okay, so if we look into these areas, so we do have the flexibility and personalized pacing. So never think of it. Again, curriculum is a target if you're in the academic setting that you need to meet after a certain time. But there's always flexibility when you're applying this blended learning thing. you're integrating it with the traditional methods that you're doing. And when traditional method is, the teacher is leading the classroom. However, when blended learning is, you're providing some material to your students and they're doing it some self-studies. They're covering the topic on their own. It is pretty much well linked with our flipped classroom, which we'll see in the next slides. So flexibility and personalized pacing, this is what you are doing as a teacher. You are designing yourself. You are adapting the given curriculum into a syllabus and adjusting the needs of the flexibility. Do you think two topics are similar? Excuse me, you can blend them in. You don't have to give each of them separately. Grammar is the best way to teach grammar is through the context. So you never think of that you're taking off grammar and separately, applying 4 weeks of time teaching just grammar, tenses, the verbs. It's boredom. You're not engaging a student. As a teacher, according to modern approaches, your job is to engage students. Perhaps, for example, blended learning, you teach some concept in the classroom, give that to students to practice or find out those grammatical elements at home as a part of a blended learning and come back and then present in the classroom. So you're reducing your work, you're making it flexible, and you're pacing it to covering, reading along with the grammar. For example, same as real-time feedback. When the students are performing something, they're giving something, so you can provide them feedback then and there. Media-rich learning is there? Absolutely. There's lots of integration of media is involved in it. How media, you can use the resources provided online. You can use the websites provided online. If none is available, you're a teacher, you make a printout and provide it to your students, telling them that this is something similar since the resources are not there. So I'm giving you those printouts. And that is the least any teacher could do, and the best teachers can do. And examples of blended learning, as you can see here, when the students are coming back to your traditional classroom, you can make stations, you can make learning stations, you can develop their leadership skills. Okay, you're presenting it, you get something in the classroom. You did something back at home that was posted. You are telling your class fellows, and you're just passively listening this thing. You're not involving, you're not controlling them. This is called learner-centered. Let them speak, let them use language. Your goal is that the language is used frequently in those contexts. Let them make mistakes. In the end, you provide a general feedback, unless until something very serious is there that needs a direct address. And that's it. Okay, so now come to the flipped classroom. So flipped classroom is, a lot more similar to this. So flipped classroom is another pedagogical approach that reverses again your lecture style. Blended learning has a part of lecture in it. Flipped learning has no lecture in it. Flipped learning means that everything has been done online. You're providing them audios, you're providing them videos, you're providing them resources that they study there, and they're independently doing everything based on your videos. Now, this approach heavily requires technology. Because of technology, some kind of impediment that might impede learning, again, apply it to the places, urban areas, if that is accessible. If there is this issue with the power outage or electricity or resources, computer, internet, do not do that. Do not always, again, I always tell my colleagues and teachers that always be creative there. Instead of being showing, oh, we don't have these resources and complaining, be creative and make one. Create one. You can do a lot. There is a lot you can do. You don't have to do a flipped classroom. That is the only way you teach ELT. However, if you can, that is the best way, because that builds your students in a way that they can be independent, they can go abroad, they can study on their own, they understand those lecture things. It requires some extra work on the teacher's part in the beginning, because teachers are recording their sessions, they're recording their voices and providing it. They're basically, as a teacher, you're a model. So your students are looking at you and they're following you. They love to follow you. So do your best so they follow the best. Remember this. That comes language learner-centered classroom. Now, what is learner-centered classroom? Is it something, oh, I'm just I'm just, relinquishing control. No, absolutely, you're not relinquishing control. This is not true about it. The whole idea about the learner centered is to make a student connect with the creativity, to connect your students with the critical thinking, to connect that diverse background coming from different families, different social status, different age groups, and you're just giving them good opportunity to use language, to share ideas. And as I hear, it adapts curriculum delivery to specific group of the needs. Okay, you foster autonomy. You're not sitting, you're not relaxed. You are relaxed in a way that you see your students are progressing. You're relaxed in a way that you're not traditional. You're not just standing there and giving lectures and your students are bored and they want to go again and again for a bathroom break. Bathroom break is a red flag that your classrooms are bored. The students are bored in your classroom. So avoid this thing if this is happening, but make it engaging. Give them authority, make them in charge of it, and passively enjoy how they're doing it, how they're dealing. You would love to see that your classroom is filled with so many hidden leaders, they're jam, and that as a teacher, your job then to polish those gems nicely as a model yourself. Now, I won't be going in detail. It would take a lot of time, but just to read over. So, flipped classroom's best idea is that it activates prior knowledge. Okay. And how do you do that? Yes, you can always do it through so many ways. See, gamification comes here. You can do Kahoot quizzes, you can do KW challenge, know what I know, what I want to know, and what I'm going to learn. Oh, there's so many different ways. Be creative. You make your own. You can find resources, join certain, because we're 21st century and there's so many different platforms where teachers are sharing those resources and material that you can very nicely apply. Also, remember every time that whenever you apply anything, you take ideas, give references. Give reference. Where did you take it? This way, you're passively teaching your students how to stay honest. You're not cheating. When they go do their research so they know, oh, I remember my teacher was telling us she got the material she was sharing with us from somewhere. So they are passively, you're teaching them this is school. You're not directly teaching them don't cheat. That's a very wrong phrase to tell the students. You're suppressing them, you're forcing them into a negative way. But when you do it positive, your footsteps, they start following that. So prioritize learners' needs and interests. Yes. Maybe you have this badge, for example, which is full of sports theme, or they like more creativity, or they're more into fashion, or they're more into traveling, or they're more into economics. They want to do something for their country. So many things that you can set the context of. Just to give you a visual overview of what it should look like for the flipped classrooms, students prepare to participate in the classroom through your videos, through your sources, through your audios. In the classroom, they're applying those concepts. You make those stations, leave them, let them do, you observe them, and then you provide them feedback afterwards. Check their understanding and extend their learning. You change your plan after you see this thing is happening or this thing is not happening or working out. Okay, there's a map. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay, there is, excuse me. Okay, thank you. I hope so. All right, so if you go here, learner-centered, real world, L1 you can increase for the cultural thing, challenging tasks to promote HOTS skill. HOTS is higher order thinking. That comes in Bloom's taxonomy. Learners acquire strategies for learning. And okay, now comes gamification. So gamification, another concern, but gamification, trust me, gamification is something not just you're playing video games, but that can be so many things. That can be static. You can do healthy competitions in the classroom. You can provide them video games. You can provide some online games. You can do some quizzes. You can make teams. You can make groups. You can set some timer, you can do some count check, you can do just, okay, I'm just setting this thing up. Let's see who finishes it before the break. There is a certain reward for you. So there's so many ways you can do. Gamification is a misconception that it's just the video games. Even the video games are a very healthy way to maintain the focus in the classroom, trust me. I wish I could talk more on this, but we are short on time. So benefits of gamification, that's the best part and one of my favorite research in the British Council. So when you're playing a good digital game, a computer, a video, a mobile, a lot is going on. We're teaching to play by playing, practicing and perfecting the skills. Remember this thing, acquiring a bit of knowledge, setting goals, and achieving them. You're setting them to achieve that certain target. Now, the gamification comes interestingly with the nudge theory. As a teacher, I'm sure everybody knows, if not, so it just nudge theory actually is basically incorporates the material and you subtly making your learners do what you want them to do. All right. You are teaching them those skills through that. You're not stopping them, but you're using the resources to make students do something. Similarly, it goes to encourage, motivation, relax. You can sit back and relax. You give your students some tasks to do the activities. They can design badges. You can design online. You can use Canva. There's so many other websites. You can do that. You can use Padlet. You can use Kahoot. There's so much online. Again, resources are limited. You can quickly grab some chart paper, some colors, divide the class and ask them, let's design some badges. And you're relaxing that day and you're letting them lead the classroom and getting it and then reward your students. Trust me, adult learners, they love it too. I'm not just talking about teenagers. Yes, you can promote healthy competitions. You can do that. Who's doing very good with punctuation? Somebody's a master with grammar, somebody's this. And every time then the students, then they learn to work in teamwork. When you appreciate them, oh, this student is really good with handwriting. Everybody's going to them asking, how do you do that? Same with grammar, same with punctuations, grammar rules, application, writing skills, speaking, public speaking, so much. It's a lot you can engage. And hence, you are enhancing engagement. And that is our goal. So, a very quick roll on critical thinking. So, the concept is not new. It comes back on the Greek times, right? And and the whole idea behind critical thinking, which is connected with all of these approaches, is to analyze and evaluate the vital for daily decisions and major critical choices. Now, you can promote all of these things, importance of critical thinking, problem solving, debating, integration, and promotes reasoning. Reasoning, unfortunately, comes as people think that it is something I'm against you. No. When you teach reasoning, your students learn that they can question if something is wrong in a beautiful way. And hence, they're using language. Now, when we talk about the synergy of all these approaches and what they have to do, so integrating blended, flipped gamification and critical thinking for optimal learning outcome. This tells us that early 2000, there was an approach that comes up. Suddenly we see, oh, okay, blended learning, everybody after that. 2010 shows the flipped classroom, everybody leaving blended and running to flipped classroom. Then 2010, the gamification elements have started to come in. And people are you're having, so long story short, you keep having these approaches coming in. You need to keep yourself very updated to apply them to achieve the best. Now, later 20th century emphasizes on the critical thinking, that's the Bloom's taxonomy, that is what higher order thinking skills. And with that, we are now reaching to 2030 UN agenda where United Nations says that lifelong learning, critical thinking, blended learning, and flipped classroom models are all interconnected to increase students' engagement, to help them learn throughout their life. It's not just they finish one course with you, 3 semesters or 3 months, and they're speaking English. No, it's a lifelong learning experience. It's a language which they need. These approaches foster critical thinking skills. Remember this thing. So you're designing, your adaptation of the curriculum has to be this way. Key takeaways: introduce one teaching strategy at a time. Be strategic there according to the needs. Tailor these strategies according to the needs and levels of your learner. Maintaining low tech alternatives for students who struggle with digital tools. You have to plan this thing. Blend different teaching strategies to foster dynamic. You cannot just say, oh, blended learning, and I'm not bringing critical thinking. No, that's not possible. They are hand in hand. Enhance student engagement and understanding through varied instructional approaches, as we had seen some example. Along with this, I just need to add last minute, these are the resources. Thank you. But all this, I put it in a handout and I'm very happy to share with you all. Each slide has the handout, which I prepared for some of my fellow colleagues. So I'm very happy to send it through. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay. So when using blended learning, can we use differentiation? If yes, how can we use it? How can we use it in a multicultural classroom without making the student feel discriminated?
Very good question. That's a point I think I missed out. So that's good. You make your resources, okay? And these resources, remember one thing, that a good classroom is always homogeneous classroom, right? Where you have variety. So we do not tag, the concept of differentiation is changing now. Before it used to be, oh, they're higher order, they're lower order, they're middle, give them most challenging tasks, give them easy. Now the idea is that you blend them all in. So when you blend them all in and you know that this person might do this task easily, you divide the task. All right. For example, if I'm giving them a reading activity, and I'll put this as a group work because I want to do the differentiation. I know student A is very sharp, B is okay, and student C is weak student. So without labeling students, I would just design the task in a way, in my head, I know that this is the differentiation from the same activity within the multi-grouping, if that makes sense. One thing. Second thing, when the students are weak, as a teacher, makes your needs analysis, give you a reflection that why the student is need. Maybe the student is not weak, the student is shy. The massive problem in language learning classrooms is that students are shy. They're afraid that they will be mocked. They're afraid the teacher or the colleagues will laugh if they make grammar mistakes. If this is the thing, so a student is not weak. This is the thing, student needs some counseling, some boosting to bring back that confidence. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you. Yes, that was correctly answered.
Okay. Any other?
Any other question from the audience?
Yes.
I
There is-
guess no.
Yes.
We don't have any question for now.
Okay, great.
Now, kindly, there is a question in the chat, please.
Okay. If gamification motivates students through rewards like points and badges, how can we ensure that students remain motivated to learn even when those external rewards are removed?
That is another good question. So when we say gamification, so your whole learning is not gamification. So do not mistake it. Again, my summary was that the gist of my presentation is that link one thing with another. If you keep showing them game, they will lose interest. Your game should be once. For example, after 2 weeks, they start a class and you start with a game. All right. And they know that my teacher might have 2 games in this unit or chapter, or might have 3 games. Okay, so and you don't tell them, they are the surprise games, and there they are having that motivation. So the learning is an ongoing process. They will not stop because they're not sure. You're not giving them game. Oh, you play game and you're getting it. You play. If you do the same thing over and over and over again, it's a boredom. Remember this thing. You have to keep them hooked. You have to make them learn. The goal is not games. The goal is that they're learning something and you're maintaining that progress. I hope I answer this tricky part.
Thank you.
And thank you, Sahar. Okay.
Right. So
There
I
is
think
an
There's a comment.
there's a comment here.
okay.
Yeah.
Participation method. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so we thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your collaboration and participation. We hope to work
Appreciate
with
it.
you in other programs as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hello guys, we're ANELTA Women Sing second conference.
The conference was good, it was wonderful, it was better than last year.
First of all is the involvement of more women we have here. And like last year, we started last year, it was the first national conference and it was in Kakwaku.